welcome to the VarsityWA Midnight's Reaction Podcast, state semifinal weekend of WIAA football. We saw a number one seed go down tonight, and every game for the Gridiron Classic is stamped. I'm Todd Milles, your host. Joining me, as usual, Eric Kurle, the championship coach, Matt Evans from Evans Rankings. We're going to have two special guest coaches on tonight, both of them bringing their teams to Husky Stadium next week. Stick around for a good show on WIAA semifinal weekend. Let's go right to the scoreboard of the state semifinal. All games played today. Let's run down. We'll start from 4A. Lake Stevens, the 2 seed, 44-35 over Graham-Caphausen. Number 5 Sumner takes down number 1 Puyallup 42-35. In the 3A bracket, number 2 Mount Tahoma 21-6 over number 3 Eastside Catholic. Number 1 O'Dea survives a red zone threat from Bellevue to win the game, beats the Wolverines 20-14. They will try and defend their 3A title next week. In 2A, number 2 Tumwater 42, number 3 East Valley of Yakima 0, number 1 Archbishop Murphy 59, number 5 Anacortes 17. In the 1A bracket, number 2 Cashmere 41, number 3 Mount Baker 14, and number 1 and 5-time defending state champ Royal 61, number 4 Linden Christian 35. In the 2B playoff, number 3 Tri-Cities Prep rallies for a 34-28 win over number 7 Adna. Number 1 Toledo ends the 2-year reign of number 5 Okanagan 24-8. And in the 8-man bracket, number 2 Liberty Christian 36, number 3 Wahkiakum 18, and number 1 DeSales 44, number 4 ACH 22. Guys, some really high-scoring games, a shutout, a few blowouts. Matt Evans, you look at the scoreboard. What strikes you the most?
Just once again, just offense. That was just wild how many points were scored today. And that's including, Okanagan only scoring 8 and East Valley not scoring at all. But man, I'm just looking at those 4A and 3A games there. All of those games just close, coming down to the last possessions, obviously, except for the Mount Tahoma game. But man, just great football in the semifinals, setting up some amazing matchups next week at Husky Stadium.
Eric Kurle, you've been watching games. What about the scoreboard hits you the most?
Well, I know we'll talk to Keith later, but just to be able to, those guys getting out there, jumping right away up on Puyallup by 14. And then Puyallup battled right back, and they just kept throwing blows back and forth and battled out. And Sumner was able to finish that game just a totally opposite of the first game. And, we'll talk about the running back just dominating and their big receiver making plays on third down when they needed to. And Matt, in a one-on-one situation, just going to get the ball. And then, the GK Lake Stevens game was a fun one to watch. Early, GK was blocked to 52 right before half, a 52-yard field goal. Ball's just laying there. One of the Lake Stevens guys picked it up, old lineman, and scored. That kind of changed the momentum of the game. I mean, GK still fought back several times in the second half, but Lake Stevens explosive. This explosive with their quarterback and receivers and running backs.
Yeah. I was at Bellevue O'Dea today, a game that Bellevue won the turnover battle, 3 interceptions to 1 turnover, won the yardage battle, outgained the Irish, easily could have won that game. They got down to the 8-yard line in the final seconds, and Tavita Nonu, the top junior recruit in the state, according to 247sports.com, with a big sack to end the game and fumble recovery. They kind of won on big plays. And I think Mount Tahoma, and we talked about it, guys, we thought Mount Tahoma had a little magic, especially playing at Tacoma. They kind of dominated that game with their defense today, which surprised me. It surprised me that they completely shut down the Eastside Catholic offense. I tell you, I think this is going to be a much better game than maybe people in the Metro League might think, maybe in Seattle might think. Mount Tahoma's for real, guys. That defense will travel, And honestly, there were some things about O'Day's offense today. Uriah Stringfield couldn't get going. Jay Sean Wilson, outside a couple runs, was kind of held in check. Their quarterback threw 3 picks. Their offense did not get anything going. They were held to under 200 yards, and I think Keith Terry and Mount Tahoma really looking at that game film, going, you know what, boys, we can do this, and I believe they can. And then I got to stop talking about Tumwater, maybe Anacortes being the only team that can beat Archbishop Murphy, because Tumwater posted maybe the most impressive result today, 42-0 over East Valley Yakima. This is a team that beat Archbishop Murphy in the playoffs last year. They played Puyallup pretty tough in week 1. Maybe they can. Maybe this is the team that's going to give Archbishop Murphy the biggest battle this season, as both of the 2A games were kind of blowouts here in the state semifinals. Well, let's bring in our first special guest. He is bringing his Cashmere Bulldogs to Husky Stadium next week following their win over Mount Baker. They get a rematch with the 5-time defending state champ Royal Knights. It's Bryan Bremer from Cashmere. Bryan, congratulations. You get the matchup you wanted. It's a rematch of a really good game earlier in the year. You guys lost an overtime game to Royal, but let's talk about today and your quarterback, Rylan Hatmaker, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns. Having that guy on your sideline, having that guy in your huddle, just how much comfort and confidence does that bring you, Bryan?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me on. Great win for us today. Getting back to a state championship, something we haven't done here in our community in 17 years or so. So, we're excited about the opportunity in front of us. But yeah, you're right. Rylan Hatmaker is a pretty special talent at the quarterback position. He does so much for us, man. And, even like today, we had it. Isaac Savala goes down, and we really got to change some game plan stuff. And he still completes passes to 8 different receivers. A couple guys in the tailback position. And so, anyways, he just does so much. He's going to be a guy that's got 110 or more touchdowns in his career to less than 20 interceptions as a 3-year starter. And he gets me out of so much bad stuff, man. Like, I think, Todd, you and I talked earlier, but it's just like sometimes I got some bad play calls and I just don't love after the fact. And he gets me out of a lot of trouble, whether it's with his feet or throwing up to his favorite target, Logan Speezer, once in a while. So he makes my job as a coach a lot easier and gets me out of some bad stuff.
Oh, there's a guy that used to coach at Graham Caphausen that's not living too far from you in Chelan. Eric Kurle, you want to ask Bryan a quick question about after his win today?
For sure. Bryan, congratulations, man. What a great run. I know some of your kids, got to be around them a couple of years ago, and just Logan and Riley, just gamers, players. You built that program up, and, how much confidence you think. I think, last year you kind of struggled against Royal last year, but this year you got there. You should have won the game, or who knows, could have gone either way, whatever it was. But it has to give your team some confidence going into that. And I think your kids and you've grown that program that I think now you guys are right there on that crest right there with Royal, being able to just go blow to blow with them.
Well, Coach, you're right. Like, this group doesn't lack confidence at all. That's one thing that, we've really, we do really well. We have a lot of confidence, which is good and bad. And a lot of that confidence stems from all the work that we've put in since January. This group's been very committed to the game of football and the weight room and doing the right things, for the last 11 months. And it all started back with the Weavers team camp and saw a bunch of success and played some really good teams like Meade and Gonzaga Prep and all these schools. And, felt like coming out of that, we had a pretty good squad. We're continuing to still learn about this football team and how we handle adversity. And yeah, we have our work cut out for us. Be careful what you wish for. You asked to play Royal again and get a second chance. And we understand that they're a really good program, and Wiley and Coach Scroggins do an unbelievable job with that program, and they have really good players. But yeah, obviously we have confidence. We have confidence that we belong. I think last year's team maybe lacked a little bit of that. The we belong mentality, and maybe it was a stretch to be in some games last year against Royal, and I think the scoreboard showed. And this group believes. This group not only just has a ton of confidence, but believes in each other. And I think, again, that just stems from all the work that we've put in, all the work that each guy has seen each guy put in. And we have really good leadership. We have really good senior captains that have kind of taken us this far. And we're excited to attack the next 6 days. And really, one thing we talked about after the game is, we got 6 days to empty the tank. Whatever you got left in the tank, it's time to empty it. And we have 6 days to do it. So we're excited to put a game plan together and, put some work together for these last 6 days.
Bryan Bremer, the Cashmere football coach, and his Bulldogs are coming over to Husky Stadium's Friday night in a rematch with Royal in the state championship game. Bryan, congratulations on getting things done today in Wenatchee. Best of luck as you prepare for the Dynasty program and everybody being healthy. We'll see you soon. And like I said, congratulations on everything.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. Appreciate, the coverage that you give these kids. So many of these kids, even if you don't believe me, listen to your podcast and read all the stuff that you put out. Some of it's good and some of it's bad, right? Sometimes I don't need those extra little mouths in their ear, if you will. But it's just the coverage you provide these kids, I think is unbelievable. I think it's second to none. And you guys doing a great job, and just appreciate your time.
Well, thanks for the kind words, and we'll see you soon. Bryan Bremer from Cashmere joining the podcast. And our second special guest joining the Midnight Reaction podcast is the winning coach, the guy that's sent the only number 1 seed home in the WIA playoffs. He is a return customer on the podcast, Keith Ross from Sumner. Congratulations, Keith. 42-35 win at Spark Stadium. I guess you got off to the fast start. That probably meant everything to you guys. This is a team that's been blowing people out of the water in the first quarter in pretty much every game. How key was the fast start and you guys getting off to a 2-touchdown lead to kind of setting the tone for the game today?
Yeah, that was our goal today. They've only punted the ball 6 times all year, so our goal on defense was to make a punt. And, their first 2 series, we got punts from them and ended up scoring on both of them. So, we feel that, we let them know that we were there to get it on today. So it was very important.
Lance McGee, 316 yards, something in the ballpark of well over 300 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns. How do you describe the impact he's had on your program in year 1?
I mean, I don't know if it's possible to describe what he's meant to us. We had a fantastic O-line coming back, and receivers and quarterbacks. And then Lance shows up. And he's the most dynamic player right now in the state of Washington. And to a team that wants to run the ball and play defense, he's golden to us.
Well, let's let the former SBSL coach Eric Kurle jump in here and ask you a question. I know he's pretty excited for you. Eric, come on.
Hey, Keith, congratulations, man. It was a blast watching that game. I felt like you did. You guys jumped out there. You kept control of the ball, and then you were able to go one-on-one with your big receiver. And I thought, the running back was incredible, but to play your quarterback and the receiver winning a one-on-one matchup, because they had to get people down in the box to try to stop you. And you had some big 3rd down and 6, 7s, and that guy make the throw. Your quarterback, your receiver, special right there. And I know you're excited and you coach it with emotion, but you guys also just really, I thought, schemed well with your unbalanced stuff when running zone outside. I really thought you guys did a great job. Your offense coordinator calling it, and then your defense making plays early to keep you in. They came back and you guys answered. That's a good program that you got going on right there, buddy.
Yeah, thanks. Really good to hear from you, man. I miss playing you.
Yeah, I miss playing you too.
We've really been involved with our 12 and 13, just like you used to do to us. So, we just got unbalanced, and, once in a while they would adjust and once in a while they wouldn't adjust. And so, we were just hitting home runs with that outside zone. And, when we got in 3rd and long, we called Nate Donovan, our big game Donnie. He seems to show up in the big games, and, Pope's the threat out there, and you got to worry about him running by you. So, we caught a bunch of deep outs today and, really kept us in the game so Lance could do his thing.
Well, I don't think I need to mention to you who's going to be waiting for you at Husky Stadium. It's the team that you played in week 1 that beat you on the final play. Tom Try, you spent a lot of summer just kind of studying him, preparing for him, and now you have another week to prepare for him. What do you think about the rematch with Lake Stevens? You guys are the last 2 state champions in the 4A classification.
Yeah, it's great. It's pretty amazing. We play in week 1, week 14. We have the utmost respect for them. Tom Try is a great coach and a great offensive mind. And he's hard to game plan against. They do so many great things, with their running back and now their quarterback that can, create after the play. So, we're just excited to get a chance to get, back at them.
Well, that is the winning coach today in the Puyallup Sumner Showdown. Spartans coach Keith Ross taking his team back to Husky Stadium next week with a chance to defend their 4A title. Keith, congratulations. I know Sumner is rocking tonight. The Valley Championship goes back a little further east into the county. We will see you on Saturday night. Congratulations and best of luck in your prep this week.
Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate you having me on. We appreciate all you guys do for high school football around this area. So thank you.
That's Keith Ross from Sumner. A very excited Keith Ross. As you said, that guy coaches with emotion. He talks with emotion. He walks with emotion. And we're going to see that in full view next week. All right, let's get to the final segment, our hot takes. We're deep into the season, guys. We've got Gridiron Classic coming up next weekend. Matt Evans, what is your hot take now that we are through week 13?
Well, I got to go back to one of my first hot takes. Now that we know all the matchups and everything, I'm looking at 3A and I'm going Mount Tahoma's going to win the state championship. Now I know Monty Kohler has my number too, so I'm expecting a text message from him in the next 24 hours. I also think we're going to have at least 2 overtime games. I think that we've got so many close matchups here. And from what we've seen, the rematches of Royal Cashmere and Sumner Lake Stevens, I think we get at least 2 overtime games.
Wow, you're assuming because he's won, 300, 400 games, you think he can text you? Is that
I know he can. I have some receipts, yeah.
Okay. Well, Dr. Kohler, you have his phone number. Share what you think about his hot take here in week 13. Eric Kurle, I know you got some emotion with you. What's your hot take heading into Gridiron Classic?
I got to cut. The 4A football is just going to be impressive. There's a lot of great games, but what Tom Try does on offense and using the horizontal and vertical, stretching the field. In his formations and things, and the quarterback didn't throw the ball real well for Lake Stevens tonight, but he made some plays, big plays, but he took off and ran. He probably would have ran for a lot more, but kept on slipping on that turf. He was on the ground a lot, getting open field. He cut and fall down. And then Sumner, if Keith can get his team out there and get a good start, Keith can stay in anything. They always just play physical. They're going to play, get their 10 yards, get to moving, and then that running back special. He is special. He can run and get over people, run over him, go around him. He sees really well. Probably one of the best I've seen cutting under and bouncing when to do it. He does a really good job of that. And that Cashmere Royal game is round 2, man. You got to love it. Round 2, that's going to be one heck of a game. Cashmere going after Royal, that's going to be a flipping game too. So I'm excited for that.
Well, hey, listen, Coach Kurle, I know you can relate to this. The year you won the state championship, and it's really played out this fall. Seniors know how to win. The experience of seniors you can't measure in quantity. It's really played out in every classification. You look at all the seniors that Sumner has. You look at the seniors that O'Day has and Mount Tahoma have. The 26 seniors at Mount Tahoma. 45 years. It's been the last time since they've been in a state championship game. You look at 2A Archbishop Murphy, that group of seniors went winless, 3 years ago. Now that group is ready to go win a state championship. Cashmere and Bryan Bremer, led by Ryland Hatmaker, that group, all seniors. have a shot to kind of end Royals' 5-year championship reign. And I got to give a shout out to Toledo. I was talking up Okanagan as the 2-time defending state champs, and rightfully so, man. I mean, what Eric Judd and that group has accomplished over the last half decade in their return to 2B is phenomenal. But those seniors from Toledo just never let Okanagan going. All forced a bunch of turnovers. The Okanagan replaced the quarterback. This is a group that's played together since they were, 7, 8 years old. And now all seniors ready to go win a 2B championship. Senior experience, senior leadership, senior guidance. It means the world in the WIAA playoffs. Well, that'll do it for our WIAA semifinal Midnight Reactions podcast here at VarsityWA. I'd like to thank our special guests, Bryan Bremer, the coach at Cashmere, and Keith Ross, the coach at Sumner, after their big wins in the state semifinals today. And of course, our regular guest, the championship coach, Eric Kurle, and Matt Evans from Evans Rankings in the Tri-Cities. I'm Todd Milles, your host. We will join you from Husky Stadium next week to conclude this fantastic fall of WIAA football.